Okay, Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We are starting our lecture on Chapter 1, Introduction to Management and Organization. So it is a continuation to our previous lecture in which we were talking about the importance of management for engineering students. Now we look into it like how this management is very important for the engineering students and what are the basics of management and what are the managers. So basically, in this lecture, you would understand about who are managers. You would be able to explain how managers differ from non-managerial employees. You can describe how to classify managers in an organization. What is management indeed? You would be able to define management, explain why efficiency and effectiveness are important to management. And your learning would be, what do managers do? You would be able to describe the 4 functions of management, explain Mintzberg managerial roles. You would be able to describe Katz, 3 essential managerial skills, and you can discuss the changes that are impacting managers' job, and you would be able to explain why customer service and innovations are important to managers. What is an organization and why you should study management? Okay, let's start off with the definition of the manager. So according to this book, the definition of a manager is someone who coordinates and oversees the work of others, people, so that organizational goals can be accomplished. So what are the key things that manager is doing? We can highlight them. He coordinates and oversees. So what he does is, a manager, what he does is, he coordinates with them and oversees their task. So manager is basically involved in a function in which there are like subordinates working under him, and he is like kind of distributing tasks with them, and he is assigning one person to do one thing, and then he's asking another person to do another thing, and then the third one to do another thing. So this is one of his major responsibility to coordinating. And then he is also someone who oversees them if they are doing their work properly or not. So in case the subordinates are not doing the job properly, then it is his responsibility to push them to do the work and complete the task within time. And if he sees like they're having some problems, they can just try to overcome the problems that they are facing. And if their problems persist, they can just link it to the top management and tell them. So these are the 2 important functions that the manager is doing. And its overall objective is to achieve organizational goals can be achieved. So let's take the example of the Maza or Al-Baik. So their task for the day is that to sell 1,000, say, pizzas. Okay. So the manager makes sure that 1,000 pizzas are delivered within time or within day, that task, if they want to achieve the task of the day. And if he sees that a worker is not working hard, or he has some problem, or if he is ill, then he can rotate employees and he can just try to facilitate them. Now we have to look into it, how many types of manager roles are there, or how many types we can classify managers. So basically what happens is, we can classify managers as first line managers, middle managers, and top managers. First line managers are the individuals who manage the work of non-managerial employees. So all the employees who are non-managerial, they have no managerial tasks, they are being supervised by the top manager. Sorry, first line manager. Middle managers are basically individuals who manage the work of the first line manager. And the top managers, in which we normally call CEO, directors. So what are they? They are responsible for making organization-wide decisions and establishing plans and goals that affect the whole organization. So they're on the top. Okay, this is the women in managerial positions around the world. We see that in Australia there are 41%, in Canada 36%, Germany 35%, Japan 10%, Philippines 57%, United States 50%. And we also see an increasing trend in women in Saudi Arabia as well. So coming back to these managerial positions, I just wanted to explain to you here in detail. So let's see how like this space over here is large and it is decreasing when we go on to top. So normally the non-managerial, you'll see in an organization, non-managerial staffs are high in numbers, say they are like 5,000. And then you can have first line managers who are controlling them. They can be like 500. And then middle managers, they can be like 50. And the top managers can be 15. So that's how the pyramid goes like. So what happens is this first line manager is directly responsible for the non-managerial employees. So he's overseeing and coordinating them. And middle managers over here, they are linked with first line managers and top managers. Okay? And this is the top managers who make company-wide decisions that affects the whole organization. So if we take the examples of the Jack Ma, if you are familiar with the Jack Ma, he is the president of Alibaba. He says that I have some 50,000 employees working for me. And he said like 50 million customers they are serving, more than that, 500 million, I guess. So the thing is, so any decision that Alibaba makes, the CEOs will make, that is going to affect the 50,000 families. That is a huge. So the top management requires different kind of sets of skills and functions and capabilities, So that's what we'll look into it in a later stage. But imagine yourself if you're coming in a company, probably you'll end up first line manager or non-managerial employees being engineers. So let's see the definition of management. You have seen the definition for managers and how the management is slightly different. Management is exactly what managers do. Management is coordinating and overseeing the work activities of others. But what is different is that they have to make sure that these activities are completed effectively and efficiently. Okay, this effectively and efficiently, they have to make sure that they are achieving their task. So we are familiar with these terms. We know coordination, we know overseeing. What is effectively and efficiently? This is the most important terminologies that are frequently used in most of the management. So you will be using with effectively and efficiency throughout the management. So what is efficiency? Efficiency means doing things right. And effectiveness means doing the right things. So getting the most out of from the least is also efficiency. Effectiveness is when you are trying to attain your goals. So let me explain to you with this, and I will also give you an examples on effectiveness and efficiency. So if we talk about efficiency, we are talking about resource utilization, resource. Okay, so what are the resources? What is the term for the resource? Resources can be, okay, so what are the resources? What is the term for the resource? Resources can be any assets or any, it can be your time, can be your resource. How effectively, efficiently you are using your time. A resource can be energy is a resource, like how efficiently you are using your energy, your electricity or petrol, and all the resources that you got. So here I normally give an example of a tailor. Let's hope you can make it properly. So there is a tailor. You have gone to him to ask him to make a top for you, and this tailor cuts top from here, cuts it here, makes the top, and then cuts from here and makes arms for you. So can we call him an efficient tailor? No, because he has just spoiled this clothes from here. He has spoiled clothes from here. So he has not been very efficient. So efficiency is a low wastage. So he has wasted a lot of clothes. So that's why he is not very efficient. Did you get the concept? And similarly, if there is a student, he has got like 1 day to go for exam, and he has to prepare like 6 chapters in 6 hours. 6 chapters, okay, in 6 hours. But what he does is in the 6 hour, 1 hour he spends on sleeping, 1 hour he spends with friends, 1 hour he spends with the what you call cafeteria. So what would happen? He has wasted much of his time. So he is not very efficient. Contrary to him, another student who spends all this 6 hour working on studying this chapter, he is more efficient as compared to this student. Now taking this goal attainment, which is effectiveness. So effectiveness is how much you are able to achieve your goals. Like here, your goal was to complete 6 chapters in 6 hours. If hour one goes by and you did not complete one chapter, you are not very effective. If hour two goes by and you did not complete your chapter two, you are not very effective, you know? So that's why your ultimate objective should be, I need to be very efficient and I should need to be very effective. Similarly, this tailor, if he has to deliver 10 clothes, 10 tops in a day, but somehow he just he makes one top in 1 hour, and what happens is he just spoiled 3 hours. He was just spending time with his friends, so he was not effective. He was not very effective, and that's why he would not be able to achieve his goals. And similarly, he was also not very efficient. This has also created a problem for him. So let's see this efficiency thing from a practical example. If we take the example of a Coca-Cola or companies, why we need efficiency, very important, and how the efficiency plays a role in our daily lives. Like I reminded of hadith by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in this he tells us that our every day should be better than our previous day. Otherwise, we are at a loss. So we should increase our learning. We should improve ourselves on a daily basis. So on a daily basis, if you slightly improve yourself, you'll become a better person. Imagine this is the Coke bottle, and this is 75 ml bottle. So imagine they fill this bottle, and they are just trying to fill this bottle approximately 75 ml. So they're trying to be 99.999% accurate, which is called Six Sigma. Okay, so they want to be 99.999% accurate. So like they can be 74%, they can be 76%, sorry, 76 ml. They can have like this. Imagine if they are not following this Six Sigma, they are just wasting 2 ml per bottle, 2 ml per bottle. So they are, instead of filling it 75 ml, they are filling 77 ml. So if they are producing 2 million bottles in a day, so can we multiply 2 into 2 million? That makes 4 million. If we take 4 million, so if we take these three digits here, this means from milliliter, if we convert them to the liter, it becomes 4,000 liters. So if you imagine if they spend 2 Saudi riyals on 1 liter, then 4 into 1,000 into means 8,000 Saudi riyal. They are spoiling on a daily basis for making bottles, and that is not earning them extra profit because they're just filling it from 75 ml to 77, only 2 ml. So that's why you have to understand, in a real world, this can have a very significant impact on the company's profitability. So I hope by these three examples, you will be able to understand the concept of efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, let's see what are the managers, what do they do? So basically, managers are classified on the basis of functions they do, the roles they play, and the skills they need. So let's see what the functions they do. And by this, I think this is a very good example for you to understand that why engineering student must need to learn the management, because of the functions you see. The typical managers involved in planning process. They are involved in organizing. They are involved in leading. They are involved in controlling. And I bet you are given very little attention toward these things with your own course of studies that you have opted so far. So this is the reason that they have included this course into your subject, so that at least you should have an idea what are these aspects. So in planning, you are basically defining goals, you are establishing strategies to achieve these goals, you are developing plans to integrate and coordinate these activities. In the organizing process, you are arranging and structuring work to accomplish organization goals. While in leading, you are working with and through the people to accomplish the goal. So this is one of the most challenging, because when you are dealing with the people, they can be like it can be challenging for certain individuals. So you need to learn this art as well. And controlling is the last thing, in which you are basically involved in monitoring, comparing, and correcting works so that you are achieving the company's objectives. So your targets that they have set. So that's how the companies set their targets. They need to check if you are achieving those targets or not. So we make certain graphs. If you are, well, this is the desired target, and this is the actual targets that you are achieving. So this gap can be crucial for you to understand why there's a gap between these. So let's see it from the different perspective. Again, planning is involved in defining goals, establishing strategies, and developing plans to coordinate activities, organizing, determine what needs to be done and how to it will be done and who is to do it. Leading, again, it is involved with the individuals and people. It is motivating and leading and any other actions involved in dealing with people. The last but not least is the monitoring. It means monitoring activities to ensure that they are accomplished as planned. So these are the key four functions that all the managers are doing regardless of their position. Another thing that managers do is to play different kinds of roles. So Mintzberg has identified 10 roles that a typical manager exercises. So these roles will give you an importance of the management and the requirement of the management in your curriculum. Mintzberg things like a typical manager need to have interpersonal skills and roles. They have informational roles and they have decisional roles. In interpersonal skills, a manager is considered as a figurehead. So what does a manager do is, like if you are inducted in an organization and if you face a problem and you know that this person will have a solution because he is my manager and he knows the stuff. Imagine I am your manager in the company where you are hired as a mechanical engineer. So I might not know the mechanical stuff, So I'm not your figurehead. Though I'm good in management, but I do not know nothing about the mechanical thing. So imagine there's a manager who is a mechanical engineer, and he's been working in the company for the last 4 or 5 years, and he knows this problem. So whenever you face the problem, you'll go to him, and he'll find a solution for you. So he's a figurehead for you. A manager has to be a leader because many times there are certain manager has to be a leader because many times there are certain responsibilities that when they're asked to be done by the top management, the leader has to take the initiatives. So a manager should lead, like for example, if we want our employees to come over the weekend, we cannot say that, okay, from tomorrow you'll come the weekend for 2 hours to this job. So a manager has to opt for this. So he has to take the initiatives and he should be able to convince others. A manager, as we were talking about doing a coordination, he is doing a liaison with the individual. Sometimes some people feel like I don't want to work with him. Sometimes they say I don't like this person. There are lots of things that happen in a critical world. So people they just don't want to work with others. So manager has to keep a liaison, has to facilitate them, and try to come to some amicable solution. Informational, I is here. In this role, a manager is monitoring the performance on a daily basis. If they have to produce like 1,000 per day, so they have to check it per hour. If they got 8 hours to in work, and in 1 hour, I guess they have to produce 120 units. No? So if we see that like 3 hours have gone and they have not produced 360 units, rather they have produced 200 units, then there's an issue. The managers think like at the end of the day we will not be able to produce the desired number of units. So he has to monitor, he has to disseminate information. The information he gets from the top, he disseminates with the other colleagues. So his responsibility is to disseminate the information. Like today, we are having this online class, and the top management has made a decision that there will be no online class. So it was the responsibility of the relevant managers to communicate to the relevant teachers and the students that this class is not going to happen. And then a manager is a spokesperson. So basically what happens is, even though he's an employee, he's working for the company, but he is representing company. So any decision that has been made by the company, he has to own it, and he just uh, shares the information as representing the company. So most of the time, he might not be liking what the decisions are, but technically, it is his responsibility to disseminate information on behalf of the company. Decision roles, a manager must be an entrepreneur. Like sometimes it happens like you come across a problem and the manager must think of a solution outside of the box. They cannot just take all the day-to-day activities, problems, discussing to the top management, and they will say, "What the hell are you doing?" So the manager must take initiative and try to resolve some issues at his own level. And the second thing is the manager must be a disturbance handler. So you see, like many times, there can be staff or employee, they want to create problems, they want to create some issues. Like at universities, there can be students, they want to like do lobby and they can just go to the head of department and just start complaining about other, teachers and things. So it is the responsibility of the top management to make sure that they are controlling this trouble which is being caused. They are resource allocator. What happen is that the managers have got resources like in King Faisal University. If you're talking about academic, they set the calendar, they set the schedule, and then they use the classes which are the resource in such a way that it is equally distributed among the teachers, courses and class timing, so that the same class is being utilized by different teachers on a different time. And then at last they are negotiator. So negotiator means like most of the time you have to negotiate. But like if I ask staff to work extra hour in one week, so I have to negotiate and convince them. So sometimes this first line manager have to negotiate with the top management and try to get benefits for the low staff. So negotiation is a skill that you will need. So if you look into this, you have to develop interpersonal skills, you have to develop informational skills and decision skills. And the last is the actions that managers do. So the manager should be thoughtful thinker, and they should be practical doing. So thoughtful thinking, like they should be thinking out of the box. They should always look into the work and should also always coming up with the solutions that were not being done in a conventional manner. So always innovating and coming out of the solutions for the company. Now let's look at it again. These are the roles that Mintzberg has defined for the managers. They must be interpersonal skills, figurehead, leaders, liaison, and information roles, monitor, disseminator, spokesperson, and decision roles, the entrepreneur, disturbance analyst, resource allocator, and negotiator. So these are the things that you would require to develop over the period of time. Most of the things will be developed through experience, but the many skills that you can learn with the by for taking proper courses of management, and you can develop yourself. Like if you are not a good negotiator, you can create troubles for yourself and for the company. Then if you are not a proper resource allocator, you are not a good manager. If you are not you cannot control your disturbance handler, probably the management would not take you the next level, And if you have not ever come up with any solution out of the box, then they might not hire you. So this reminds me of Elon Musk. Elon Musk, everybody must be familiar with him. So I remember one of his interview, he was asked like, what kind of people you are hiring? And he said like, if I want to hire somebody, I ask them, what are the problems that you have faced in life? And then tell us how you have resolved those problems. And he knows that if somebody can resolve a problem in a different manner, he is a person that we need. So for management, they are looking for your managerial skills and capabilities. And let's see the technical skills the manager needs. So as you are engineering students, so you are being given a technical skills, lots of efforts are being done on your knowledge and proficiency in your area, like if you're mechanical engineering or civil engineering or chemical. But there are two skills that you will need to develop over the period of time. If you really want to go up the ladder, if you want to go to the top management, this diagram over here is going to explain to you how these roles play. So when you're entering a job as an engineer, you will need a high volume of high density of technical skills. But when you go to the middle management, which is here, then you would need a high level of human resource skills. And similarly, when you become top management, you need a high level of conceptual skills. So you must understand like what is happening, what is going to the future, and you should be into macro level thinkers. You can see the future, you can see the future of the employees, you can see the future of the company, you can see where the future competition is going on, and your each and every decision affects the overall organization. So that's why students, I would urge you to give a serious attention towards management courses and try to develop human resource skills and conceptual skills if you really want to get a very successful career in your life. Now, how the manager's job is changing, it's changing very rapidly. We know that the customers are the key to any success of a business. Customers are the reasons for the organization exists. Managing customer relationship is responsibility of all managers. So they make sure that the quality or the quantity of the services are to be high and top standard. And then you must have a consistent high quality customer services is established for the survival. So in today's job, manager's job is changing because the customers have become more powerful. They have more power, customers. Earlier they never had it. Like they can just, if they, because of the social media, they can just, on the Twitter, they can create trend against the company and they can create, like in recently we've seen like McDonald's and other companies, they suffered a lot because the Muslim consumers started boycotting the products of McDonald's. So we have witnessed lots of downturn in their sales. So the customers can affect the business. So sometimes the customers, they have a large power in a sense like, I don't know if there's an app that is for airline industries. If you want to buy a ticket, that will scan the tickets of all the, I don't know the name of the app, if you can help me to find it. So if you want to buy the tickets, that app will give you a comparison of different airline industries for tickets on that particular day and can give you and can guide you the best ever ticket rate is available to you. So that is how it is empowering the customers. Another thing is the innovation. Because of the technology has advanced so much, and because of internet, now the businesses are become global. So you are competing globally. So any country, any company that is globally very far away can become a threat for you. So you have to be keep on innovating. So you're doing things differently, exploring new markets and taking risks. So managers should encourage employees to be aware of and act in appropriate opportunities for innovation. So if you cannot innovate, you will not sustain the market. So these are the different uh, changes that are affecting managers' jobs. There is technological challenges, changing technological digitalizations. They are affecting changing security threats, increased emphasis on organizational and managerial ethics, and increased competitiveness. So these are a few of the dimensions that are also affecting on managers' role. So they have to be very effective. They have to be very vigilant. They have to keep an eye on the shifting organizational boundaries. They should know what is the virtual workforce. They should know more mobile workforce. They should understand flexible working environment. They should or arrangements. They should empower employees. They should know the work-life, personal life balance. And then security risk, and now lots of cyber crimes are also happening. So companies should be very much aware of like the security threats they might be facing. They must be having a restricted workplace. They can discrimination concern, globalization concern, employees assistance, and uncertainty over future energy resources. And then the ethics is a burning topic of this 21st centuries because we have seen many ethical concerns for the companies. They were involved in unethical practices due to which they have earned lots of profits. So companies have to rebuild the trust. They have to increase the accountability and increase the competition because of the technology. Their competition. They are globally competing with each other. We have got Amazon, we have got Alibaba, AliExpress. They are making the products and services readily available to the international market. So customer services have changed a lot. Innovation has played an important role. Globalization and efficiency of the production has played a very important role. Okay, dear sir, I think we should stop here and we'll be discussing this, what is an organization in the next lecture. We have covered like 22 slides today. Some of the lecture we were also already covered in our previous class, but this is just to start the tempo going for this topic. If you want to ask any questions, you are welcome. Please text me your questions, or you can just open your mic and ask me a question. Students, if you want to ask us any question, please go ahead. If you did not understand any topic, please be
Dr.
mindful that this is also. Yes, please.
When you will
Yes,
add
Abdul.
the recorded lecture?
Actually, there's one recorded lecture that I did yesterday. I already recorded, uploaded it. And if you like, I'll upload this one as well. So you can refer back on any of them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Because in future, you might need it for during exams, you might need to understand this terminology. So I thought we are utilizing this technology, and we should have this facility that we should have the recorded lesson with us. Thank you, Abdurrahman Yusuf. Thank you. So, any other questions you would like to ask? Any concept you're just not familiar with? Today we talked about efficiency and effectiveness. If this is clear to you, okay, Mubarak, thank you. And the roles of the managers, their functions, their skills. Okay, if everything is
Thank
clear
you,
to you,
doctor. Everything is clear.
okay, Ali.